So I want to talk to y'all this morning about responding to homelessness. So I know this is a struggle point for most folks. You encounter the homeless on the streets and don't really know how to react to it. You really want to just stare at the ground and walk on by. You definitely are struggling with wanting to give them money because you don't know what they're going to do with it. And I can understand that, and I'm fully there with you. There have been many times that I've encountered homeless asking for money, and I've offered them to walk with me into a restaurant and I'd buy them a meal. And a lot of them have disappeared on site with a suggestion. But at the same time, I've bought a lot of meals at Chick-fil-A and restaurants like that around Crystal, and had some interesting conversations and got to know some people and find out how they got where they were and what their struggles were. So let me make a couple of suggestions. One, if you can muster up the courage to invite them to have a meal with you and sit down at a table and break bread with them, buy them a meal, sit down and talk to them. If you're not ready for that step, then find an organization where you live that is actively engaging and ministering with the homeless, and give them support. At first, if you don't feel like that you have the courage to volunteer and interact, then support them financially. There's a lot of organizations out there doing a lot of good, and they can use financial support, but at the same time they can use volunteers, and volunteering with them is a good way to find out what's going on, find the stories behind the homeless, and get to know some of those folks and find out that they're real people with real struggles. There's a lot of opportunity like that in many cities, and I'll list some in the description below to give you some ideas of some of the organizations that I'm familiar with in different cities, and you can kind of do some research in your areas. But help out with a food pantry, stock shelves of canned goods, help out with a cold night shelter where when it gets really cold, people open up different gymnasiums and whatnot for homeless to spend the night and spend a couple hours. As you get a little braver, you can move on into other avenues, but start there. We have an organization that's a part of the church in St. Pete here that does what's called building beds. They build beds for children that don't have beds to sleep in. They identify who those children are through the school's guidance counselors, find kids that are struggling, find out they don't have beds. And we build beds, carry it out to their houses and set them up and set those kids up for success. There's a lot of opportunity out there, and I'm going to encourage you over the next couple of months and provide different ways that you can do that. Be sure to check the description below, and have a great day.